Okay, so in this video, what we're gonna work on is a little bit of side body lengthening and then some rotation, all on all fours. You can also do all of this against the wall. Everything else applies. The only difference is that you'll be standing and your arms will be touching the wall this way. Otherwise, you're on your hands and knees, and you're gonna come to your hands and knees. Your hands are actually gonna be reaching in front of you, and your knees are going to be just kind of underneath your hips, except that we are gonna be kind of reaching. So this is the puppy pose. You wanna spread your fingers nice and wide on the mat. And this is a very active pose. So we're not just collapsing our body or over untucking our pelvis. We still want to maintain that neutral pelvis. And we're going to be pushing our hands gently into the floor or into your mat. So you're just going to come, reach as far as comfortable as you, as feels good on your body. So, if you're not feeling safe with your arms really reaching forward this way, it's totally okay to be more here. I just want you to feel safe and comfortable in your body. So find a position that works for you to be in so that you can get the most out of this pose. And the more you do it, the more your body will recognize that it's a safe position. So start where you're at, wherever that may be, and you're gonna reach your hands forward. The top of your head reaches forward, as well as the tailbone or your sits bones are also reaching back. So that's going to help keep the spine nice and long here. And then allow your feet and your ankles to relax to the floor. And we're just going to be kind of hanging out here. You can find a neutral pelvis, and you're gently pushing your hands into the floor, and you're just taking some nice breaths here. And notice where your breath goes. So if you're noticing a lot of belly breaths, see if you can bring the breath into the ribs to expand the ribs side to side especially, and then front to back. There's not going to be a lot of up and down breathing. They're just because of the nature of the position and our relationship to gravity here. Good, and then check in with your shoulders and notice if your shoulders want to creep up here when you're in this pose, and see if you can use your muscles to allow the shoulder blades to kind of, even though the hands are reaching forward, they're pressing into the floor, but kind of pulling back. So the shoulder blades are not bringing the shoulder up to the ears here. They're kind of relaxed down this way. Good. And just a couple breaths here. After you've gotten a couple breaths in here, we're going to take our arms and go side to side in puppy. So you're going to take your left arm and maybe bring it a little closer to your body. A modification is coming down to the forearm. Otherwise, you're just a little closer to the body. You're pushing into the floor there, and you're going to reach that right arm to the diagonal to the left. And as we're doing this, sorry about the lighting, we're not shifting our hips to the right. Our hips are staying exactly where we are, and we're reaching our arm to the left. So we're still engaging slightly in the core here, and we're getting a side bend. So again, we're not shifting. If you shift your hips to the right, when you reach your arm to the left, you're not gonna feel a side bend. So keep your body stable right where it is, and the only thing that's moving is the upper body to the side here. And again, just gonna take a breath or two here. See if you can ease your body into the pose, and then you're just gonna switch sides. You're going to go back and forth and really just feel kind of how it feels on your body. Again, notice if your shoulders want to creep up here. You can bring that forearm down. Good. And just side to side. Amazing. You can do that as many times as you'd like. And then the next move that we're going to do here is some rotation. So here you're going to bring your knees a little bit wider than your hips. You can bring your toes together if you'd like. It's up to you. You're going to push your hands into the floor. So our wrists are right under our knees. They're not up here. And I encourage you to watch yourself doing this so you can really see what's happening in your body. We often have a big disconnect between what we think our body is doing and what it's actually doing. And so watching yourself move, whether it's via a mirror or recording yourself with a phone or something, is a fantastic way to create that body awareness. And here, we're just going to inhale here and exhale. Reach that left hand behind the right. You can put blocks underneath your head or blankets if in case your head doesn't reach the floor. And you're just gonna hang out there for a second. Oops. Good, and then, or as long as you want, and then you're just gonna switch sides. You're gonna take that right arm now, reach it behind the left, and rotate. So the rotation again is coming from the upper body, the ribs. We're not looking to bring the hips into this kind of shifted side. So notice here, might be a little hard to see in the light, but notice I'm shifting my hips here. I don't want to do that because then you're taking the rotation out of the ribs and you're bringing it from the hips. So the hips stay right where they are. We're not shifting the hips side to side. Good. So again, that might mean that this is where you come to and you're not able to come down to the floor or to a block or blankets or whatever. And then notice where your booty is. Your bottom can be, sometimes we do weird things here. I want your hips to stay pretty much right above the knees. Good. And just repeat that a couple of times. There's no goal as far as how far down your body gets or how much it rotates. That is extremely individual. And so I don't want you to start judging yourself for being able to do something or not being able to do something, and rather really just pay attention to where your body is in space relative to all the parts. So what's happening in your ribs when you're rotating here, finding your candles, side to side. And when we're on the floor, that relationship to gravity can change how we feel we can rotate. And so, which is why we do these moves on hands and knees. You can do them the same thing against the wall. So again, just to recap, we did some puppy, which is basically a modified down dog, where we're really extending from the top of our head to the tailbone to keep our spine nice and long, and the arms are extended this way. And then from there, we moved into puppy side bend. So just kind of this move. And I really want you to focus on keeping the hips nice and stable over the knees, so we're not shifting hips side to side. You notice, and you can try shifting side to side here, and you'll notice that there's not much happening on the side body when you do that, because you're taking that lengthening away by moving somewhere else. And then from there, we just did the rotation, hands on the floor, and then rotate the ribs, kind of thread the needle behind. And again, just do what your body feels that it's able to do. There's no need to push any of these moves. This is just kind of warming up the thoracic, the side body, to get you kind of warmed up for other moves. And then also the candle breath anytime before you rotate.